Yeah, they don't know me. Yeah. How many people we got on Twitch right now? Look at. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now, Jay? Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, hopefully
I
we're
can hear you
working
now.
now. Are we back
Yeah,
in?
I can hear you now.
I can see some
Yeah, I
green
can hear you
bars
now.
moving in my OBJ, so hopefully people can hear me. Let's see if we get thumbs
Can they,
up.
can they,
I hear you now, loud and clear. Awesome. Sorry, guys, for that. There's always
yeah,
this
you're gonna have to do the speech again.
there's always an issue when you get on this thing. Hey, just to recap, we just wanted to firstly say thanks to everybody for submitting to weekly drills. You know, we're really stoked that people are getting behind it, and we thought, you know what, let's pull it out of Discord and out of the Rookies website platform and give some feedback. You know, that we think you know it's important to give feedback because you put the effort in. Hey Jay, welcome. Thank you for your efforts in weekly drills, man. You are a champion, and without you, it would fall flat on its face. But hey, tell us a bit about yourself and the stuff that you do for Epic Games. I know people are probably curious about your background and you know what you're about.
Yeah. Why they should be listening to me? I'm sure.
Exactly.
How many people do we got on Twitch right now? We've got 5.
We got 5. We
No,
got 5.
do we really? That's awesome. That was a good guess.
We got Chrissy Ryan in the house as well. Christina, actually, just
Oh,
before you start, Jay, I'm just going to give Christina raps because she was the one that's done the combi van for the latest Substance texturing challenge that's going on.
Yeah.
And she's an amazing artist, and she's really supportive of the Rookies, and we obviously have her on board with doing the interviews live on Twitch, and she's been doing an amazing job on that. So thanks, Chrissy. I know, thanks for all your hard work. You'll meet her one day. So give us a background, Jay. What are you about? Tell us.
I'm about being stuck inside of an apartment in the middle of Chicago. No, no, these have been fun. I mean, like Alan and Mac do a lot of the heavy lifting, so these have been. I think the idea was we started weekly drills to start seeing, to take a break from these large contests that we have, and to see how we can kind of keep people, excited and challenged, especially during this year for the lockdown. And it's been interesting. I mean, I'm going to do a shout out to one of my former students, Tom Romer, because he's done every single challenge, and we're on challenge 33, which is nuts. But it's a good job, man. But also, it's been fun to see how people. I mean, I get it. Some people ramp on, ramp off. Every single person's got different weeks, where it gets super busy for them, and sometimes they can't do it. But the reason why we do this is not only to have fun and to learn, but you're growing your own network. You're kind of showing off to the whole rookies crew and our judges, because a lot of people, not just me. It's not just me and Alan and Mac that see this stuff. Your peers do. A lot of the judges do. They may not respond, but everyone's seeing what you're doing. And I think that's the biggest thing is, and that's what we've, like Alan's been trying to do and Mac's done. I think they've done a great job of having the rookies just be a platform for people to get spotlight. And you have no idea how being consistent. I mean, to show you one thing, many of us, we didn't know who you were, but now like the more and more we're doing these drills, it's like, oh, I keep seeing so-and-so's name pop up or so-and-so's name pop up, and you see the progression of their scales. And now it's like, I recognize your name. I recognize what you've done, recognize your talent. And that's what you want to have. You want to have not just me and Alan and Mac and the judges, but your peers. That's how you slowly build your name. And I think drills are a fun way to challenge yourself, but also it's a test in your patience and like how much you realize that creating content is going to make you a better developer, whether it's games, animation, or film. But yeah, my background is, so I've been doing video games since like PlayStation 1. It's like going on 20 years now almost, which is scary and sad. A lot more gray hairs on me. But my background is in environment art, prop art, unwrapping, texturing, shaders, lighting, set dressing, all that stuff. I've done everything from even being audio and animation to being a lead art director. But currently I'm a game development producer over at Epic, and I've been there for almost 2 years, and it's rad. It's working with, some of the most talented artists that I've found around the world, using the engine, creating content, development content, learning content, and also trying to see how we can push the actual engine to its furthest and break down actual education of content as well. So I do a lot of things for Epic, but one of the things I do that loops directly into what the rookies is we have Unreal Education, which we're building out content. We're building a lot more content out for you, students and hobbyists and anyone to learn the engine more. And yes, we are planning loads of content already for Unreal 5. So it's still new, but hopefully it goes well. But no, so yeah, I'm in Chicago. That's about it.
Cool, man. Nice one. So yeah, what the plan is for today is, we're just going to go through each of the entries, and then we want to be able to announce sort of the first, second, and third place like we normally do each week. And we're just going to look at each of the entries and then just give a bit of feedback on each of the entries, and hopefully, you get something out of it. And we're going to go from there. So I think what we'll do, Jay, like we really haven't planned out this format too well, or not too well, but we're just winging it. First one. But what we want to do is kind of just go through the entries, have a look at each of the pages that people have set up, and then just give some feedback. So we're going to start with the bike helmet, and I'm just going to just jump this over to browser only, see what that does. Yep. And I'm going to just pull up this, the first entry here, which is by, who's this guy? We've got, let's have a look. Gee whiz, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Can you pronounce that for me, Jay?
I can't see your browser, so I guess I do have to open it.
It's, I'm not even going to attempt it because I will offend this person.
Oh, all right. I muted it. Slaw. I'm just going to call you Slaw.
Yeah. So, Jay, if go ahead,
yeah,
mate.
He actually, and that's one of the things I was talking about, like just clicking on his name. He already won the headdress one. I recognized the headdress, and I was like, damn, that was a good one. So the one that he has up right now, that helmet, I'm actually a huge fan of that one. I like the details. There's one of the things I kind of like geek out in is seeing where pieces are put together. So especially where you like seeing where like one part of the helmet is connected to another one. The fact that it's just, we got the white and the orange really balanced because the orange pops it out, and the blue actually, I don't know what kind of reference you use, but again, it's complementing colors. That really works out. So just the form, but also if you go back inside the actual helmet again, that does feel like that hardened foam inside the helmet. Whatever texture material you had inside there for the hardened foam, yeah, like right inside there, that does feel. It looks good.
Yeah.
It's done really well.
Yeah,
Um,
I like the detail on the straps as well.
even the back part, like if you can see like where you tighten the little wheel in the very back that tightens the helmet.
Yep,
Yeah, like right there.
yep, looks great. He's done a really good job. I mean, even just the fact that he's presented it actually on a model of a head. Just you can tell that proportionally it's correct. Really well done. I'm probably up there with you, Jay. I think this is one of the better entries for this one. I love the fact that he's given a breakdown of exactly how he's done it in ZBrush and just some of the techniques, the reference that he's used. This is really important, particularly if you're in the industry. You're not making this stuff up. You will be given a brief. You will be given concept art that you have to follow. So this is a really good example of somebody that's picked out their reference, showed the process, and been able to deliver a product which looks great. Not too much more to say on this one. I think just overall done a really
I
good
love
job.
it. Yeah.
Done a good
I
job.
like the fact that I put something in Discord last week, just specifically asking for wireframes, UV maps reference, and you did it. And the little details on top of not just the logos and the text placements on it. And the little explanations. Like, this is the thing. These drills are insanely good practice for rookie contest submissions in the future. Use these as practice.
Yeah. So if we look at the next helmet, Jay, I've got and the user number is 21273. So I think this is one of your favorite ones again as well. This is the sort of the classic old school helmet. Walk us through what you love about this one, Jay.
Well, I think not that I like the last one. I think this one though just has a lot of character to it. It screams like it does feel like a 1950s James Dean, like 1930s, 40s, like it's a specific era. And the bolts, like I've seen helmets like this before. The outside of it, the shape looks great, the way that the light is hitting it, but the inside of it, all the padding on there, it just, I don't know. I'm a big fan of all the padding on side of it, seeing the stitches. That stuff really did it for me, especially on top of that, the presentation of it, the breakdown of what they use software wise. I do like that they're using the turntable to kind of go around. I like that they're showing the shaded one. I would have liked to see the wireframe on it just to kind of get an idea. Just to kind of, so there's a lot of stuff in here that actually is a normal map. So it'd been cool to see like the high poly, low poly, or something a little bit more just to answer a couple of questions that I have. I know that you're listing it inside the actual programs that you used, but and it notes that this is your first weekly challenge. So obviously, notes for next time would be, I'd love to see the wireframe. I'd love to see like UV layouts or like your high poly, low poly, like just what gets you to this final piece.
Yeah, and I think the good thing is here that you've used this viewer here, which is perfect for what you're talking about, Jay. To have the model, then the wireframe, then some of the base texture colors, and then maybe the way that it's look. It gives people a really good idea of how you've constructed it. So, I mean, if I was to add any sort of critique to this, I would probably, for something that is this, like a sort of a classic old helmet, I think, like just to see some form of sort of dirt, it just feels all a bit brand new to me. It would be great to have some of the leather. You've got some details. If we look at, here, you've got some details in there, but it would be good just to even see, maybe some of the stitching, which was just the color was slightly different to others. Just subtle stuff. Again, when we look at the rubber at the top up here, it would be good to have a little bit of, maybe a little bit of breakup or something. I know it's going for brand new, but even brand new stuff like has sort of variations in the specular highlight. I think for your first one, amazing job, well done for submitting, and just really good stuff. considering we've got a week, like we can't be too hard, Jay, because obviously, people only have a week to be able to do this, and so we've got to be fair. So the next one,
the other thing is that on top of that, there's nothing that says you can't take these props if they have the promise, and maybe at the end of the year we have you pick the top ones that you have created throughout the year and polish those and have that be again your portfolio submissions. Little script like things and even like a sticker or anything like that, just to show that maybe it's been worn or there's little imperfections. Like I 100% agree. And imperfections is what gives something even more character.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great point there too, Jay, as well. Like these weekly drills, you might not get to the level that you want to be to have a final finished piece, but you know what, at least you're building up assets. You're using, when you're in the industry, having deadlines and being able to turn around assets really quickly is, mate, that is so important, and being able to kind of keep up with weekly drills. And even if you don't do it every week, but you're just like, right, this week I'm going to do it, and this week I'm going to make sure that I stick to the deadline and I submit whatever I've got at the end of the week. It's really, really good practice. So let's jump on to the next one, Jay. So we've got, I'm looking at the, which one's next? So I'm going to look at the one that ends with 21268.
Let me grab that one.
It's got the kind of the glass visor. Can you see it now?
Yeah. I got that one up.
Okay, cool. So, if we look at this guy, pretty well presented. There's a bit of grunge and stuff like, and I'm just going to look, so this is, it's sort of a classic one where somebody will just go, you know what, I need to add a little bit of dirt, so I'm just going to use something procedural and I just put it on there. So when we look at, areas like this, and this is, really important lesson when you are texturing assets, you got to think about the story about the reason why there is dirt on there and where it's being placed. Like we see it time and time again where people just add dirt for the sake of adding dirt, and Substance makes it really easy to add dirt, but there's got to be a genuine reason why it's being added. So and on a bike helmet, how often do you see like sort of dirt? Usually they're quite clean. There might be a lot of specular breakup, but
from like if it's raining and they're driving when it gets like straight across.
Exactly. And look, the model itself is, it hasn't been smooth, so there's quite hard edges there, just with the faceting on the way there. I'm not too sure if that's on purpose, but there's no sort of edge. It's pretty basic, pretty basic sort of a model. Great job for getting it in, and great job to sort of getting the glass and the visor working, and little details down here with the air filter. It looks cool. Not too much more to say about this one, but well done. Who's this one? This is David from the States. Well done, mate, for getting your entry in. Cool. Next one. If we go to the next one, I'm looking at that BMW helmet, Jay, which is 21266.
All right, cool.
I'll let you have a chat about this one if you want, mate.
Yeah, no. So again, I liked that right away. You actually did you're revisiting something, and it's all the old leather, and I like you're kind of like blending some stuff in, but I also like that you explained what you were doing, and then I can kind of scroll down and see your thought process for your pure reference board. I like to see you've got a lot of views. You put it inside of an actual turntable. You're using the other things where I can see your wireframe and your actual shaded view. So good job on using the toggle features. So in general, I think the modeling looks great. I'm really good, like a fan of the modeling. Like really good details. My thing is, I think the grunge or whatever the grunge is on it is kind of universal. It needs like right now, like the color of the helmet, like the trim. The glasses, like the white and black, and actually the blue emblem popping out is good. My eyes get broken up there, but so when I look at things, I like to think about breaking up and where my eye kind of focuses on and how to like get my eye placed to rest. And right now, the color balance is good, but I feel like there's a generic kind of dirt pass over the whole thing. that needs to be broken up a little more. And then you can do things like if this is old leather and you're out in the sun and you're writing it, maybe the sun kind of, wore it down. Maybe there's some like water spots or dirt or something on that to make it feel like it's been used, and the dirt is there for a reason. It could even be like you are making the leather look a little bit worn up top, and maybe the stitching is feeling a little bit more faded. But like Alan said, it's always it's always like subtle things. Like you may make all this and you might just add like 2 or 3 details that maybe no one notices, but the people who do notice it are going to find it and be like, oh, that's amazing. What else am I not seeing? Yeah. So you're not trying to make something that's very, very obvious. You're trying to do something that's so subtle that maybe someone else, like even when I'm looking at the current position of what Alan has, like if you had that the goggles and that band that's wrapped around it, if there's just a little bit of like kind of like fraying or something that kind of shows that like little belt that's holding the goggles on, just kind of chipping apart. Yeah, like right over there, something like that. And that maybe what it's showing is the discolored part of the leather. Because if that is leather's it's a lighter color. It gets tanned. They basically stain it darker colors. So when you start scratching away at leather, you start to see the lighter parts of it. And that really, it's kind of like when you see wood when it gets stained and varnished, leather's stained as well. So stuff like that. But overall, I think it's great. Great presentation, nice explanation, lovely breakdown.
Yeah, I mean, this was probably one of my favorite ones when I went through the list. And, for all those reasons, that you mentioned, Jay, I think that's just where it falls down. I think it's a great portfolio piece if you can spend a little bit more time on it and address the feedback that Jay just mentioned. Like it would just be it's a really nice helmet. Just that sort of, and one thing that was kind of common through a lot of the entries was just how straight, a lot of the geometry is. So just to break up some of these silhouettes, particularly like when you look at that leather strap, like Jay said, is having some edge wear there on the leather would be a nice feature, but also just to have a bit of a break up in the geometry, just to break up the straight lines, anything that, again, really, everything is very, very linear, very, very straight. I love the stitching on it. I love the badge that you've got going on there. I just feel that, like Jay said, the weathering that you do have going on it's very universal and just scattered across the whole thing. But awesome job, man. I like it. I really actually like this helmet. I think you've done a great job in the modeling. Like I said, just those edges there, or just some of the breakup on these straight edge would have been awesome. And it's cool because you've actually modeled the stitches in. I actually thought they were substance ones, but you've actually modeled that in. It's a great job. Okay, moving to the next one. What do we got next? We've got Motocross Guy, Jay.
All right. Which one is that one?
This is pretty low geometry one. So this potentially, sort of a gaming helmet. We've got a little 3D viewer here so we can check it out as well. We love when, people sort of go above and beyond with the submissions and just, are able to either have a little turntable or throw it into Sketchfab or something like that, because it just, again, it's just another level of sort of interaction that we can have with the different entries.
Yeah, my biggest thing is, so based on like the detail that's put in there, how I'm looking at this right now is I'm in the 3D viewer like you are, Alan, but I have it scrolled way back. Okay. Because with its poly count and the fact that there's no bottom part, it feels like this would be something you'd see on like a third person or isometric camera. Like a little further, like that. Yeah. Now I'm like, all right, that works for like, because the poly count on it makes me think that it should be part of a like a full body scene on a bike or something like that. Because now from that angle, I really can't tell the poly count. But the one thing I will say, I do like the colors. I do like the details. If this is something that's meant to be closer up, it is going to need an increase in polys and more detail, kind of like the ones we saw with a couple of the other ones we saw earlier today. But what I would say is break up, like it's the same thing with the dirt. It looks like there's a grunge map thrown on, and it needs to have a metallic and roughness kind of like break up on it, because right now it's just so shiny, but you have dirt on it too. So the dirt and everything like that would actually, if you think about what a flat surface is and what causes total reflection, it's the light being able to bounce directly back off. But the minute you start throwing up like dirt or anything that's stuck on there, that actually breaks it up so the light doesn't reflect directly back. It's kind of like when you're at like a mall or a museum and you see those flat tile floors, and then you can kind of see the reflections, but it stops and you can see like where someone's footprint is or where someone actually maybe spilled something, because that's where it's a little bit sticky and dust attracts to it, and that breaks up the ability for the light to bounce directly off of it. So same thing with this, like he needs to have some of those, like, even if it doesn't look 100% dirty, there's going to be dust gathering in some of these corners. Like, use your ambient occlusion. Like when you're doing maps, do a cavity map, or like do it like just throw a smart mask on there that has the dust surface one. That's a good one. And crank up that just to break it up.
Awesome, thanks. I haven't got too much to add to that. I think you're on the point, on the money there, Jay. Moving along, so we've got Toby. So Toby's helmet was this. My friend made fun one early mock-ups challenge. I was making helmet. Cool. Sort of an Imperial bike helmet. I love this. I love the breakdown, of the base mesh and how it sort of got to the end result. It's a really good format for being able to showcase the process that you went through. Great job in showing your updates. Again, we love it when people are able to show us the journey that they've been on to get there. Let's have a look at some of the reference material. The inside, is pretty cool. There's a lot of effort gone to the inside. If anything, for me, it's kind of like, and it's a weekly drill, but probably ran out a bit of time in terms of just being able to take it to that next level. Modeling wise, can't fault it. A lot of great little details in there. Texturing wise, I think it needs some further work just with adding that sort of, breakup of the specular highlights. It's all a bit generic at the moment, but well done for the modeling. You've got some cool, decals on it, and I just think, this is this is going to be a great little portfolio piece if you can just finish off the texturing side of things.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have anything else to add. I think it hits a lot of buttons in terms of it's something that's original, but it's based off pop culture, so people get it. And that's something else to think about when you guys are doing these drills and what you're doing for your actual portfolio pieces too. People tend to look at something that they recognize just a little bit, whether it's from pop culture or whether it's I was drawn to that other bike helmet that looks like it's a Steve McQueen one, because I'm like, oh man, that reminds me of Steve McQueen. And then just like Alan was drawn to the BMW one. But the other thing I would like to say is that I really like the fact that you're using the update tools. And that's something that you guys, once you kind of jump on these, there's nothing that says you can't start sharing your intended process. Like, oh man, I have a really good idea. I'm going to throw my reference up there and I'm going to start kicking it around. It's cool because maybe you did have time, but you didn't want to share it. And again, the drill is not, yes, we are looking to see who's it's fun to have the first, second, third, because creative competition drives us, but it's also nice to kind of see what are you actually able to create in a week. And then for those of you who are going to be looking back on what you did this year with the actual drills, it's like, look at everything you did on top of class or work or everything else. It's impressive. And the drills are also, because like Alan brings up a good point, a lot of times you don't get a large amount of time to make something. And then sometimes we'll see people's work when I'm interviewing at certain studios, and they'll be like, oh, this is amazing. How long did it take you? Oh, I spent 3 months. I'm like, you're going to get a week to do that here.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't get the time that you may think sometimes to work on content. But this is a great entry. I like I like the whole presentation and everything.
So yeah, awesome. So moving on to the next one, we've got, this is Tom again. Tom's done like you said, Jay. I mean, so is he one of your, what did you say he's one of your students?
He was one of my students, yeah, at Pixel Vision.
Nice. Yeah,
It
awesome.
was a couple of years ago or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, shout out. I don't know if Tom's online or not, but he's been like a champion at weekly drills. Honestly, he's submitted to every single one, hasn't he, Jay?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure he has.
Yeah. So so if we want to just have a look at his presentation wise, it's solid. There's always, this is just, just general sort of feedback, but when you're doing backgrounds, be really careful about the different types of backgrounds that you're doing. They can be quite jarring, in terms of, like if you've got, different sort of gradients, it can pull away from what you're trying to showcase with the asset. Generally, we're like, you sit around the sort of 50% gray mark for a background or slightly darker or whatever it is, but just be careful when you're doing, never do completely black or completely white. So yeah, if we look at his asset, Tom, I think feels like it's a little bit procedural with the type of specular roughness going on. I like, there's some variation in that strap being stretched to a sort of a finer point at the front. Again, the straps are probably a little bit straight. It would be good to see that fraying and breakup of the geometry there. The glass for me just wasn't quite working either. Again, it just all feels a bit generic with the with the specular roughness and sort of dirt that's happening on there. I love the style of it. I think it's really cool. Again, edge breakup here that rubber could do with probably a little bit more sort of texturing. If we just pull that up, texturing quality on that, it's lacking a little bit. I like the decals overall, and we've got, what else have we got in this one? Let's just see if there's any other close-ups. It just feels a little bit generic. I love the decals on it. They're really cool. Again, it would be cool to see some break. You've got some wear on this one, but this sticker here looks brand new. So again, it's just that last 10%. We talk about the last 10% with a lot of people. And people are really proud when they get to this position. And it's like, okay, now I need to step back from it and really study it. Really look at my reference and go, what is going to make it look photorealistic? It's that last 10% that we talk about. So good job, Tom. Well done again, mate, for entering in. And
the nice thing I kind of like about, I want to point out this too, is that after reading what Tom's submission was, he's actually trying to reuse content from another drill and fixing it and then applying it to this one, which I think is awesome. I mean, again, for the drills, it's just like in the industry. Not everything has to be 100% from scratch. You can use reference. You can use something you're trying to rework. It's meant to scratch a creative like itch, but also kind of like how clever can you be with what you have and the time you have. I do like that you're kind of using when you're finding content. I like that you kind of hyperlinked it to the content you're finding. So the stuff that you found on Substance Share for the tool, which was pretty cool. Nice thing to share with people.
Yeah, thanks for the tip. Nice one, Tom. Excellent. Let's move on. Let's keep moving. What do we got next? We've got bike helmet. And this is not too sure who this is from, but let's have a look down. Cool. We've just got the one image, so maybe it was a sort of a last minute entry. Well done for entering. Like, honestly, give you credit reps for being able to add. It's pretty basic in terms of texturing wise. But and you're not really showing off the model at all, so we can't comment on sort of the modeling detail. But who was that? Well done.
So what I would share for future tips, if you want to keep submitting stuff, sure, just do multiple images. I don't know if you've kind of seen what other people are doing. 3/4 views are always the best to start up with. Use a slider to kind of do more different angles inside the helmet, at the back of it, front, top. Wireframes and shaded obviously help. In terms of, and then maybe what I would also think about is treat each drill as tackling something you really want to get better at. So maybe you might not be able to tackle the materials and texturing the way you really want to at first, because you're like, hey, I want to get my submission process down, but I also want to feel more confident with modeling. And then once you nail that, then go to the texturing. Once you nail that, then go to more submission stuff. So, not everything has to be 100% total, but yeah, we just need more. We need to see more submissions, and also kind of say what your whole goal was with this. Hey, I did some research and I was really inspired to do a motocross helmet. Boom.
Next entry, we've got Michalina from Poland. Awesome. Her first entry. Congratulations. Well done. Really stoked that you were able to get a submission in. And this is actually similar, as in terms of sort of almost that product industrial design sort of feel about it as the first one. Really nicely presented. Got a little Sketchfab viewer in there as well. Would be cool to see more of the inside of the helmet. If we just have a look at the detail, You can see, I mean, there is textural quality within that sort of spongy, foamy stuff in the middle.
Yeah, the only thing that's a problem when you use things in Sketchfab is that it's based on like a light. Unless I believe, can you change the light? I don't think you can. It's
you can rotate the light around.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, you can. So if I...
Oh, yeah, it's alt, sorry. I'm going to go ahead and try. Yeah, so you can rotate it around, but you can't rotate it up and down. So I can't see inside the actual helmet interior, but I can see that you have details inside there by looking at it. So I would say like there is some subtle surface breakup, which is nice. So like as I'm moving the light over, I can see it. Have a couple more pieces that maybe some discoloration again, just, it's been out in the sun. It's not 100% brand new. The other thing I would say is that Ms. Kala is flipped on the other side. So the text is flipped just to be kind of aware. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, it's back to front.
Yeah, the model itself looks great. The colors, I think, look great. The interior details look great. I can start to see some of the foam that's in there. It just needs to be, we just need a little bit more, a little more breakup on the material surface. And I'd say that's about it. Like, it'd be cool to see a chin strap or something like that, but just for this model in general, I mean, the model looks great. Presentation's almost spot on. I know that you got the 3D viewer, but it's always awesome to kind of see a nice rendered shaded view with the wireframe too, since you've already done that. So it's overall great work. I mean, I like it a lot.
Well done for your first submission. Awesome. Next up, we've got we've looked at Mac, haven't we? We've looked at that one. We've got Red Bull. So we've got Red Bull helmet. You can never have a weekly drills without helmet. Weekly drills without Red Bull, right?
Right.
Awesome.
So your sponsor.
Got a few rendered images there. Great effort for getting it finished. 3 days of a project. Well done for 3 days. Like it's you've hammered this out, which is awesome. You probably could spend some more time on the texturing. Obviously, it's just. You're using basic sort of shaders and stuff on it at the moment, and needs a bit more detail and working up in regards to the actual textures. Modeling wise, not really showing us the wireframe, so we can't comment. You've got some nice details with the screws and the bits and pieces. Again, it all looks a bit too new. You can see. I
think the other thing is I'd like to see like a pure your reference board, because something about it, the shape looks off, but again, that could just be because I don't understand it. So if we saw some reference, it might be something that kind of, it's because of this. And I can see there is if you go down to the shaded view, a little further down, keep on scrolling down, wherever the shaded view is.
Oh, the gray shaded?
Yeah, gray shaded.
Sorry, there. Yep, clicking through it like a madman.
You can kind of see there's it looks like there's a bevel that's coming back from the opening of the actual mask on the far left. You can see there's a couple, I see 4 bevel lines, one going up about that one tuck point where the screw is. Right there. And to the left, but keep going, you see the line is. So just I see some bevel, and that's one of those things that if I saw the wireframe, I can be oh, okay, that's what's causing it. So that's why we like to see wireframes. We like to see shaded. We like the reference, because you don't want to give someone assumption. You want to kind of give them everything to kind of throw it out there for hey, this was my idea. This was my plan. Here's my wireframe. Here's my shaded. Here's this. Yeah. So that way when we're looking at something, we're oh, cool. This does look really good. And, the only thing I would say is, just kind of tweak the texture a little bit. It looks like the Red Bull's kind of stretched down there. So
yeah, I was just going to say the same, just symmetry wise, everything feels off, even looking at the logo, it's not quite, lined up. So, it's 3 days work, man. So, well done for getting it in. Awesome.
We're being critical.
We are being very critical. So then we've got this sort of, what did you say it was, Jay? It was kind of reminded you of James Dean sort of helmet or something?
Yeah, this is another one. It looks like the same era of I forgot who the other submission was. But yeah, no, it's got. I like the colors it's got going for it. It's really cool to see. You've got the shaded, you got the wireframe. You got the UV map. You actually have the other, like it's a nice use of the slider at the bottom to not only show the UV map, but also the color, the different maps that are making it up.
Hang on, Jay. Hang on.
Yeah.
Look at that. Additional points for the Rookies logo that's snuck in there. Awesome.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. There's a lot of nice detail, and I will say that this is what I mean. Like you can see some breakup on the actual helmet itself in terms of its color and its like reflection map. There's a little bit. It could be more. The glass shader looks good. It just, again, it's one of those things that just needs a little more. I'd be curious to see how like I can see a little bit of the inside of the helmet, but I can't see much. So in terms of that, I would love to see what was in the inside of the helmet. Yeah, it's good. For the time that's put in, I think it looks solid.
Yeah, good job. Awesome. And then I think is that it, Jay? If I look at what we've got, I think we've covered everyone, right? So, yeah, did we cover that one? Yes, we did.
Yep.
Awesome. So, how do you want to do this? Like, do you want to pick your winner and I pick my winner and we see where we get to with it all, or how do you want to do this, Jay? What's your call? You already got a winner.
I'll give you my top three.
Okay.
Top three, I would say I'll go off by the number 21278.
21278. Okay. Which one is that?
That's the bike helmet with the orange. Yep.
Oh, this one here. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would say 21273. That guy, the old padding one, the leather padding one that needs to be broken up.
Yeah. So you've got. Let me just pull it up. So where we've got that, let's move that one. Let's get rid of Red Bull, and we've got. I'm just going to pull. So we've got this one. You're saying this one, and then this one, and then for your third pick.
I'd say the BMW one.
Yeah, I think that's kind of that to me. It's got to be in there as well. So.
I'd say like a close runner-up was the one Imperial.
Yeah.
Empire did wrong, and the one we just looked at that had the Rookies logo in the back of them. I think those were two really good ones. And actually, like the bike helmet as well, that was with the baby blue that forgot what her name was submitted in there. But I'm leaning towards the BMW one. I really like the bike helmet one. I feel like just with all the details that's on it, with all the text and logo and all the modeling details and some material things, that one should be number one. And, I'm a fan of the old school, like James Dean with the leather padding on there. I agree. It'd be nice if it had some little things broken up on it, or maybe like its own little sticker or something like that, or something that said like, it needs like a number on there or something like an iconic, like number 9 and whatever it is. I think that would really take it to the next level. And then again, so
for me, then I would probably go in this order: this one first, this one second, actually, because he has got the detail. Even though I think there's just more effort gone into that when you look at the stitching detail, and then this one third.
Good call. Yeah, good call.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
We're in agreement. Awesome.
We're in agreement. So, it has been decided.
It's been decided.
It is. We have the bike helmet first, the fancy bike helmet that I can't afford. Then we have the BMW helmet that I can't afford, and then the James Dean old school motorcycle helmet in third.
That's it. I love it. Yeah, we're in agreement. I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's it for our first session of Weekly Drills. I think it was. If people like the format, then just give us a shout out in Discord and let us know if you want us to continue. We really enjoy doing it. We're hopefully people get something out of it. For the next drill, it was announced. Macca announced it the other day, which is going to be isometric room. So that's going to be this week's weekly drill. So. Should be some really interesting stuff there for it to come through. So look forward to doing the next weekly drills feedback session on Twitch. And Jay, do you want to say a few words before we depart?
Yeah, the goal is to have these be the same time. So there's a consistent one. And just to let you know, in the case you get bored of just me and Alan, the also goal is to bring other people like guest judges, people like art directors from fancy studios, and people just to kind of casually pop in and give some feedback. And is the more feedback, the more participation you guys give and encourage your friends or students or what it is to kind of like get involved, then the more we can kind of do with it. Like that could include us doing little demos, challenges, and maybe even to the end having like the main, like the rookies drill winner overall, where we do bigger competitions and have actual prizes. But the one thing I would also say is, again, remember, you never have you never know who's looking at your drill submissions. There's a lot of good people that are submitting content, and there's a lot of judges that are just like, holy hell, this is looking awesome.
Yeah, totally agree. So if anybody is new to weekly drills and they want to find out more about it, then we announce it on our Discover area each week. So there's this bit of information about the types of stuff that we're looking for, the rules, etc. So that's where you can find out more about it. Thank you all very much for tuning in today. It's been a blast, Jay. It's been great jumping on with you, mate. We always have a bit of a laugh when we do presentations and so forth together. So thanks for dialing in. And look forward to seeing everyone's work this week.
Thanks, everyone.
See you, Jay. Take care, mate.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
See you, buddy.